This is number 4 from the practice test for Unit 1, Polynomials and Rational Functions. This is a polynomial inequality. So the first thing you want to do is factor so that you can solve. You can see that we have x's in common, so we can factor out an x. And that leaves us with x squared minus x minus 12 is greater than or equal to 0. And then you can factor the trinomial that you have left there. We want to multiply to negative 12 and add to negative 1. And that combination is negative 4 and positive 3. So we're basically set all of these equal to 0. So that gives us where we want, that gives us our zeros of our function. At this point, I would graph it in my calculator just to double check so I can write the domain in interval notation, or write my solution set in interval notation. When you graph it, you can see that you have zeros at these 3 places, and you will also see that your graph is greater than or equal to 0. Between negative 3 and 0 and 4 and infinity. So in an interval notation, and that's because the graph looks something like this. This is going to be a super rough sketch, and when you graph this on the test, you're going to do a much more specific job than I'm doing right now. But the graph looks something like this. And there are your zeros. So we are in interval notation, we're greater than or equal to 0 between negative 3 and 0. And 4 and infinity. We're including negative 3, 0, and 4 since we have a greater than or equal to. And then if you're going to write this in set notation, we say x such that x is between negative 3 and 0. Oops, sorry. And x is greater than or equal to 4. So there are your solutions in interval notation and in set notation. Make sure when you're graphing for the test that you are plotting all the points that will fit on the coordinate plane and graphing it very precisely.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.